everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hidden Gems in Quentin's Vinyl Vault. I'm Quentin Jones, and on tonight's episode, like every episode, we're going to talk about an album that's often overlooked and underrated. On tonight's episode, I'm going to talk about a great album from a great band from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The band's called the Hooters. Now, you probably know this band by one of their smash hit albums like Nervous Night, Zigzag, On the Way Home. Awesome records. And the band played at Live Aid. They played all over the world. They have fans everywhere. But I want to talk to you about a record that some fans may not be aware of. It's a record called Amore. This album is absolutely stunningly amazing. Here's why. It's an independent record. These guys recorded this record at Studio 4 in Philadelphia without a record company. Now what happened is they had had success, and then a couple of the guys went on to work with Cyndi Lauper, which would be Eric Bazillion and Rob Hyman, and they made some great music with Cyndi, and then they decided to make this record with the Hooters. And it is just filled with rock and roll. Now, I want to tell you another story. Is right before they got signed to Columbia Records, I was in a little band that really wasn't that good, but we were trying hard, and we got to open for the Hooters in Lancaster. And I had heard many things about them, and I heard them on college radio, and I went out and bought this record. And I was just, from beginning to end, blown away. And that night when we opened for them, I was also blown away. But you know what was really cool? They treated us really nice. And they took time, and each one of them spoke to us with advice and encouragement, which is rare to do when a band that's this close to breaking worldwide is playing a show with a local underage young band that can barely play their instruments. So kudos to these guys. Now let me talk about the songs on this record. A few of these songs ended up on their first major label release, most notably Hanging on a Heartbeat. And the version of Hanging on a Heartbeat on this album is just so powerful. The other version is awesome too, but this is more raw. And that's what, if you see a theme in a lot of my reviews, I love the raw albums, you know. I love this stuff that has the grit and the dirt. The other big song on here is All You Zombies, which you may remember also from MTV. Great song. That is an awesome version as well. And Blood from a Stone, man, another great thing. See, this band had a very ska, rock and roll ska undertone to it. And perhaps one of my favorite songs on this record is Concubine. It is amazing. If you get a chance, get down to the store and buy Amore, another song on the album. I mean, really, there's not a bad song on here. As I said, it was self-produced, and they sold like 150,000 copies of these records like that. I have an interview with the drummer, David Osikin, and I'm going to play the first part of the interview at the end of this review. I'm going to give you a few minutes, and Dave's going to explain how the album came about and things like that, which is so wonderful that he took time out of his busy day to do so. But this is part of a multi-part series that I'm putting together that will be available on my website, QuentinJonesGuitar.com. And these interviews are going to be rock stars and records, and I'm going to talk to people that made these albums, and hopefully they're going to tell about how the band came along and how they got their break and the ups and downs of the career, so that people that are in the music business and are aspiring musicians could possibly learn from their trials, tribulations, and successes. So anyways, come see me at QuentinJonesGuitar.com, and I'm really building up my subscribers. I need a lot more, folks, so please subscribe, like the video, check out my Facebook page, and I hope to see you all again real soon. Thanks a lot for your time.
Amore is the album that I'm focusing on the review that I did previous to this. Okay. And it is, to me, I mean, the Columbia albums were masterpieces in their own right. And
They've held up. That's the way you can, it's funny, because what happens, especially with a band like ours, Quentin, Amore was a self-produced record. Eric and Rob basically produced that record at Studio 4 in 1983 after we were together for 2 years actually making singles. And then we reformed after Cyndi Lauper's record. We made Amore. There were songs from that record that ended up on Nervous Night, our first Columbia release. And of course, you know, our diehard fans back in the day said, when they went, because we have a different version of All You Zombies. And then we got, worked with Rick Chertoff, and he suggested some changes that were real drastic to some fans. Like, people are, sometimes aren't always that keen on listening to something a little different, especially with the band that they love, you know, and they follow.
Sure.
It's like, what do you do? You sign with the label and then you're, you know, all of a sudden change your thing. And that wasn't really the case, because we felt like, okay, Rick's idea was a great one. But that Amore record, I love going back and listening to that, because you hear the original All You Zombies, and then Hanging on a Heartbeat's on that record, which I thought, if you look at it, I think Zombies on Nervous Night, I thought we did bring it to another level, and it's the way we play live. I personally think Hanging on a Heartbeat took a back seat on Nervous Night. It's a cool version, but, you know, the Amore version of Hanging on a Heartbeat is super cool. And the song Amore is super cool. That didn't get on.
That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites.
It's a good one. People love that. We play that live. And Blood from a Stone is on Nervous Night, and that is on our version of, Amore, and it's on Nervous Night as well.
Another great song.
Yeah. They're both, you know, it's amazing and interesting to kind of look at, you know, what holds up. You know?
Well,
so it was good times for sure.
Hey, if you want to hear the album, I made a playlist on Spotify, and I shared the link in the description of this video. So check it out. You're going to enjoy it.